Hi, I'm going to talk to you in this video about how I went from being a zero to hero. This is something I didn't even think about at first. Just so long ago, I never thought about it, like personally in my own way. But now that I think about it, this story could apply to, or this story that is relevant to my real life, this story that could be said to be, this story that is from my real life, that could be said to be relevant to me telling it from my real life, could be said to be relevant to your life. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is this story from my life could be relevant to your life? That. So this is essentially, I just had something in my mind though, and I forget what it was. But like when I said it, I was like, this is like phrased awkwardly. It's like I don't know how it's gonna fit. So I'm trying to explain like why I didn't. Sorry, I'm doing like a weird like think thing right now, because like something like threw me off. Something threw off my rhythm. I'm trying to figure out what it is. But I'm trying to like explain it just in case it's something that can fix everything and I can get back on the same page. But I don't know what it is, except it's something. But it was like that I was zero to hero. I'm just like right now. I'm just like saying the words that come to my mind, but like I don't know if they're like the actual words I believe, because I don't know like where they're coming from all the time, unless they're my words, in which case I know they're coming from, because they are my words. Because of course they're my words. So I'm just gonna stick with them. So this transformation of zero to hero is when I went through in high school, and it's like something I didn't think of at first. This is what I was trying to explain, because I never thought of it at the time. I just kind of lived my life at the time, but I never thought back to it until when I was talking about zero to heroes. I was like, you know what? I went through a similar transformation, not as extreme, but like similar. So that's what I'm gonna talk about. Anyway, I was in high school. I was someone who like observed a lot at first, like my first couple years of high school. I came in freshman year of high school, and I was really loud and really outgoing. Not like loud obnoxiously, but just like I was like all about making a first impression on people, like putting myself out there, and like being memorable. And I did that like my first day of school. Then the second day of school, I kind of like started to fall by the wayside. It's like I don't really know that many people. I don't really know like too much about what's going on. So I kind of just like stayed back and watched, and just kind of was like really more of an observer on what was going on in high school, and was kind of just like more of a passive party, because I didn't really know that many people and didn't really fit in that well with like the social atmosphere. Because in my mind, it's because I was like relatively new to the school district that I went to high school at, so I didn't know as many people as well as other people did. Like they were all friends from like kindergarten or like before, and then when I moved there in like second grade, I was gonna say, or elementary school, it's like the weirdest thing, because like it's like the weirdest. It's like it seems like the smallest gap, but it was like the biggest and most extreme, because like everybody knew everybody from kindergarten, it seemed. And then after second grade, it's like everybody knew people, but then it's like everyone already kind of had their friend groups weirdly established, and I don't know, it just wasn't as like deeply ingrained or rooted. But I don't know, that's just what I thought. Anyway, I spent a lot of my time kind of observing just how other people did things, and just kind of like would pick out my friends based on who I'd sit by in class, who I'd talk to, who I'd feel comfortable talking to. And I had friends who I don't even remember. I think most of my friends were from like the wrestling team, because I wrestled freshman year, because I wanted to like be on a sports team that was like active, because I wanted to be like active in high school. I don't want to be like a loser and like not do anything social or active, or like anything that was like a part of like what other people were doing. So I joined the wrestling team freshman year, and that's what I was doing. But I don't know, because I don't like know what else to describe, or how else to describe what I was doing, because then I was kind of just watching people like to see what they were doing. That's what I was like, thinking. I had to stop. I was like, wait, what am I thinking? And it's like, first of all, I need to say this like right, because I don't want to say it in the wrong way, because then it'll sound creepy, and I was not creepy. It's just like I was just like one of those people who like was trying to like pick up on things, just like know what everyone else was doing, kind of to like know how to fit in, which is like kind of normal if you think about it, because it's like how you fit in social stuff. I don't see, this is the thing, I don't know how other people do things. Some people maybe just like float in naturally and go, oh, I'm just gonna do this, you guys do that, it's that kind of thing. I don't know. That's just what I do. I go in, I'm kind of like, I just kind of get to go in, I had a sense for things, and then I like, oh, here's how I fit in, bam, and then I go for it. So that's like kind of like my gist of how I like fit in or how I kind of socialize myself into a new social environment. So it's just such a weird thing, because the word socialize sounds so weird. It just sounds like so robotic and so like strange. But I guess if I just say it, it would make sense, because it's the right word. I just didn't want to say it because it sounded so awkward. So that. but I don't know. Anyway, that's just kind of how I do that. But anyway, I'll stop thinking about it because I want to, and because it's gonna freak me out probably as much as it's gonna freak you out. At least I hope so, because it means we're both on the same page and our wavelength, and we're both human, right? So I don't know. But anyway, because it's like a human thing, right, to be freaked out by that kind of stuff. Anyway, the the point is, as I was going through high school freshman year, I spent a lot of time observing, so I wasn't like too active like socially and like with active social life stuff. I was kind of like a loser freshman year, and like I like would skip school with friends and like smoke cigarettes and stuff like that, just because I thought it was cool, because it just like seemed like what the cool kids would do. And I was like, you know what, this seems like something I could do, because this is something I'd be comfortable with. So just like what I did in high school, freshman year. But then later on, it wasn't until like junior year in high school when I was like, I shouldn't be doing these. These are like unhealthy hobbies, these are like bad habits. And that's when I realized, like junior year, senior year, that like really being popular in high school, but like really being cool in high school is not being popular, sorry, being cool in high school. It's about really having your goals in line and like being like someone who's like set up for success and someone who like has their shit together, so to speak, and like, can succeed in the real world. That's like what it really means to be cool in high school, someone who just really has it together. So that's kind of like where I ended up senior year, and I really like pulled myself together senior year and like got myself in order. So I managed to like get what I needed to get in order for my life to be in order, because I was really a slacker freshman and sophomore year. I mean, I was smart as a kid. I was like in the gifted class and stuff like that, or in the, not the gifted class, the honors classes, in like freshman and sophomore year, and junior and senior year too. But like I just like didn't apply myself and like try very hard. So like I spent like a lot of time like drifting by the wayside. And that's another thing I noticed too, is like I wasn't like in the same classes as like a lot of the kids who were like traditionally like more popular, because I was in like a lot of the more like advanced classes. So like my classes were like much more like quieter kids, or like nerdier kids, so to speak, which like they weren't bad kids to like hang out with. Not that I hung out with them per se, but like weren't like weird or like bad kids to like be around. Like I had no problems with them. Like we got along just fine, and like I don't look down on them at all. Like they're all like cool for being themselves and for being unique. They didn't listen to lunch table, but just because they had different friends. I don't know, but they were all very much like, what am I gonna say? I don't know, just not as traditionally the kind of people you'd see doing the same kind of things as the people you might traditionally think as being in certain cliques, so to speak. So that's all I have to say about that. But I spent a lot of my time just like kind of like just studying to see like what I should be doing to make me kind of like more someone who fits in with like the crowd I want to be running with in high school, that kind of thing. And I kind of just like as it turned out, one of the kids I was friends with in middle school ended up being like friends with a lot of the kids who were like traditionally more like popular, or like more with like the popular crowd, so to speak, or like the people who knew everybody, that kind of crowd. So I ended up being around them that just like vicariously. No, sorry, not vicariously. What's it called? Like I'm starting to think like something that releases secondhand smoke. But like if you're around this person and this person's around this person, then you're around these person by default. So whatever that's called, whatever the term is for that, that's just like how it happened. I was just like around people, and they were around other people, and by being around the people I was around, I was also around other people. So I ended up meeting other people that way and spending more time with them. So I got to know them better, and like we ended up later on in high school like partying together and stuff like that. So it was fun. But we kind of got to know each other that way through mutual friends. So that. But I also did notice certain things, and just like notice certain like nuances about certain people that just like, I don't know, they just like would do, and I just thought it was cool because because they were like buddies and they just like mess with each other. So I don't know. I was never like, I'll say this. I was like, I will say this. I was the only Asian kid in my high school, more or less. There was like one other Asian kid, but he was like really quiet and hung with like a really different crowd and only ever hung to himself. And I never saw him like even once, or like communicated with him even once in high school. But I was like very uncomfortable doing the things that most of my friends would do with their friends, because they were like super loud and boisterous Italian, and or like of that like nationality and or that kind of like personality type. So they'd always be like really loud, or like they'd be like hockey guys, and or like something like that. So they'd always be like wrestling around and like joshing around with each other and like that kind of stuff. And like that's like not my style of humor or like my personality type. So it's not like some stuff that I'd be doing like necessarily in that way at all, because I'm not like that kind of like aggressive humor kind of personality type where they like chum around and they get into like a fist fight or wrestling match and they chum it up and they're all friends. Mine's more of like I'm a witty guy, and that's like where my charm and like my uniqueness and my personality like comes from. So it's like that's like a major factor. I was supposed to say charm, but charm. That is like, oh no, that wasn't it. I thought I said it, but then I was like, wait, is this relevant? Is this related? And now I'm wondering about it at all, much, but a little bit. And now I'm thinking like maybe it wasn't the most related, but I'm gonna throw it out there. My charm is also relevant too, and it's because of me being a sharp guy. So anyway, the rest of what I was saying though is that there are a lot of like the rough and tumble kind of guys. So like I get along with them because I just like jive with my personality with their group in a way where it's like I don't know, I'm like I don't know, I just got along with the friend group because I was gonna say I said their friend group, I mean the hockey team, because like a lot of my friends are on the hockey team, but it wasn't the only group of friends or only group of kids that I hung out with in high school, but it was like one of the groups of friends that like me and my friends hung out with a lot of time. And I didn't mean to make a distinction there, but me and one of my friends, well, I'm gonna say me and one of my best friends in high school, Luke Thompson, was friends with the hockey team, and as a result of that, I got to be better friends with the hockey team, and ended up being more relevant to like one of the kids on the hockey team would always have like get-togethers at his house, and I'd always go to those because because I was invited, but also because at first it was because of mutual friends, but then afterwards I got to know him and I just went because I knew him. So anyway, sorry, I as soon as I started to say that I was like that maybe this doesn't seem right, but I already like started explaining it as like a this because of this kind of thing, but then after I started saying that in that way, I was like, maybe this doesn't fit that way, because I feel like I just like went because I went because like it was just like his place and he'd just like send it, or it was just that kind of thing. But anyway, the other thing that I was getting at, I think there's a lit candle here. Yeah, there is. Well, wax just spilled. I just looked up and I saw a candle on my chest that I'd lit last night, and I was wondering if it was still lit. And it is still lit. It's been lit all night. Anyway, the other thing is, I kind of ended up like finding my own with my group of friends and like finding where I felt most comfortable based on the people I felt most comfortable around, just like personally, and like being myself and like being my true self. Because you should never feel like you have to fake yourself or fake who you are around anyone, especially not the kind of people you want to hang out with. Because if you feel like you're faking or you feel like you're not really fitting in truly for being yourself and doing the things you want to do, then you should really find other friends or find a group of people that you fit along with better, because they're not really maybe the best friends for you or the best fit for you, as in regards to like how you would form your social circle, or maybe that is more of a college term, but how you would formulate your friends or form your friend group in high school. So that's kind of as much as about that. The other thing is, I don't know. I ended up getting along with a lot of kids at school who were like pretty popular, so I always ended up sitting at the popular kids lunch table, or the popular kid lunch table, I mean. So that's just like where I hung out, or where I just sat. So I'd always, be a part of the group lunch discussions and stuff like that. And it was always really entertaining and really fun. So I had a good time with that aspect of my life. So I'm glad for that. That was really cool that I had those kind of friends. I'm trying to like wonder what I'm talking. I think I'm just like rambling now. That was just like something that it was really fun. I love my lunch tables. That's all I want to say. I'm trying to think of something that's like relevant to what I'm saying right now in regards to this whole thing. That's the idea that just because you were quiet in high school, maybe at first, and you didn't really know where you fit in, doesn't mean you can't fit in at some point. Because I wasn't always like, I didn't come into high school being like the man, and everyone's like, oh, yo, you're the man, what's up? It's freshman year, but you're the man. Everyone knows you already somehow. You're the fucking cock of the walk. No, I came into high school like not knowing like a lot of people and like not really knowing what was going on, because it was new to me and it was a new experience. So I kind of had to like settle in and like find my way, find my path in high school until I could like settle into my like comfortable routine, or so to speak. Or yeah, so that. But that's kind of like how I fell into my own in high school, and how I kind of found my daily grind, so to speak. So by just kind of sticking with the The idea that you can be the person you want to be. And I believe you can be the person you want to be in high school. So that's the belief system I had in high school. That's the belief system I stuck with. And that's the belief system that carried me ahead to being or becoming the person I wanted to be in high school. So I'm happy with that. And I'm happy with the person I became. I'm happy with where I ended up senior year. I was happy, popular. I had a lot of friends, and I ended up going to prom with this really cool girl who sat across from me at the lunch table, who I got along with, or we got along with, as part of our friend group. So that worked out really well. I don't know. The tough thing is, like, we all lived out in the country, and we all lived really far apart, and I don't think that many people like drove or something. I forget what it was, but like most people just like. Well, actually, I almost said something stupid. Obviously, everyone lived with their parents in high school, but like nobody really did like too much socializing outside of high school. Except we'd have like some parties sometimes, but like due to the fact that like everyone, I don't know, it's just like we didn't like do that much not do that much, but hold that many social events outside of high school. And I wish we would have done more because that would have been awesome. But I guess maybe that's just standard because most people don't have like epic parties every weekend in high school. It's more of like a rare kind of thing. But I wish it was that way. I guess it's just wishful thinking. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's that kind of thing. But the other thing is, oh yeah, I wasn't like involved that much in like this is just something random to point out. But like one other thing is like when I first came into high school freshman year, I think it was like oh, I don't know. I'll just wrap it up here and just say this: that if you think that just because you don't know everybody in high school freshman year, you can't be happy and you can't find a group of friends that you get along with and you can't fit in at some point, then you're dead wrong. Because you can always find a group of people that you feel comfortable with, that you feel you get along with, and that you feel is right for you. By the end of your high school career, if you only just be yourself, be true to what you believe, true to what you want, and just get out there, stand up, be yourself, and go for it. You'll always get what you want, you'll always find what you need, and you'll always get what you deserve. So if you're still struggling in high school and you're still looking for that, that's all I gotta say, and more power to you. If you feel like you're a zero and you go into high school and you feel like you don't know anybody and you feel like you're a little fish in a big pond, don't worry. It's because maybe you are, but a lot of people are. So don't think too badly of yourself. But just know that just because you're a little fish in the big pond doesn't mean you can't swim with, the big ones or the school that you want to swim with. Maybe that's the better analogy. It doesn't mean you can't swim with the school you want to swim with. I don't think it matters what size the fish are. But you just swim wherever you want. It doesn't mean you can't swim in the direction you can't swim to the current of life. You can't swim with the fish you want to swim with. So that's the point, I guess. Doesn't mean you can't swim with the fish you want to swim with. There, said it again. So that's the point. So anyway, to all of you who are watching this, by the way, who are little fish in a big pond, I wish you luck. I hope you find what you're looking for in high school. I hope you find happiness. I hope you find comfort in being yourself. I hope you find a group of friends you love, you can get along with, you can bullshit around with and josh around with and joke around with, and you really get along with at the end of the day. So I hope you truly do, and really do. Hope you really have a good time. Hope you enjoy it because it only happens once and it's a pretty special thing. So that. But I don't know what your exact experience is, but I know it's different. I know it's unique. So whatever it is, I hope you make it your own, and it'll be a cool story to tell by the end of it. Because it's a hell of a ride, and if you have nothing to show for it by the end, then maybe you didn't appreciate it enough. And maybe you didn't go for a wild enough one somehow, some way. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that, and I hope you have a good time. I'm Henry. Peace out.